Hello, my name is Kathleen Lisson. I'm a lymphedema therapist, and this is my recap video of what caught my eye and my interest at the recent NLN conference in Philadelphia in 2023. So I am the author of Stress Reduction for Lymphedema, and I had the fantastic opportunity to partner with LymphaPress to not only give away copies of my book to conference attendees, but I also did a breakfast session and an early morning sponsored session to show and actually do some of the practices in the book. The practices that people really connected with was the breathwork protocol, and then the kind of exercise that people with breast cancer related lymphedema can do. That's a modified Taiso protocol. And also I got some questions about modifying yoga protocol for people who had a yoga practice before and during their cancer journey, and now with lymphedema wanted to continue to practice yoga, but in a way that was safe for their lymphedema. All this information is in the book, and we were able to also cover it in the morning class. So as far as the other classes I took, my super favorite, my number one thing that I'm taking home and really implementing in my practice is Nazreen from Cleveland Clinic gave a class on breast cancer rehabilitation, and she showed us a protocol for helping the breast regain sensation. So this is something that the client would do as a method of self-care, using their hands, using a makeup brush, using a toothbrush, and using a mirror so they can see themselves as they do this to help their body regain sensation after mastectomy and reconstructive surgery. So that was definitely the number one thing that I saw. What I was also interested in, which is really great, was they did a segment on head and neck lymphedema, and I like that they focused on head and neck lymphedema because this is something that I have seen come into my office because I have the additional training in head and neck lymphedema, but I would think that some CLTs would not have the additional training, or they won't get to see these clients regularly. So it was a really good experience to go over that information in the main session. And one of the therapists that went over the different barriers for people with head and neck lymphedema for exercising. And I thought this was super valuable. I took pictures of it and put it on my Facebook page because I think the people who don't often treat head and neck lymphedema and will just say, yeah, you have to get exercise. And especially if someone who was a health coach or they were a personal trainer and their client had head and neck lymphedema, maybe they wouldn't understand the additional barriers to exercise that happens when someone goes through the treatment for head and neck lymphedema or for head and neck cancer, and then subsequently gets head and neck lymphedema. So this was very valuable to me, and I posted it on my Facebook page. And I also posted that Cleveland Clinic protocol on my Facebook page. There was a lot of information about central lymphatics, and if you follow me on Facebook, you also saw those slides. And it's the specifics that were coming out were very interesting. Some of the indications, some of the symptoms. So if we see a constellation of these symptoms, maybe it'll pique our interest. Is this a central lymphatic dysfunction? And some tests that if this test comes up positive, you are positive for a central lymphatic issue. And the treatment that they talk about right now is surgery, but patients also shared their experiences. And over the past couple months, I've been very interested in attending all these sessions on central lymphatics. And some of the patients were also sharing in those sessions and in the NLN the self-care that they do around breathing. Amy Rivera talking about going to the Whitlinger Clinic and getting the vibration bowls. So I'm interested in different breathing techniques, a lot of techniques which I share in the book Stress Reduction for Lymphedema. I also talk really briefly about Tibetan singing bowls and vibration. So in my book, I concentrate more on vibration that we can make ourselves. Through humming, through chanting Om. These are natural ways throughout history that people have put vibration into their torso. So that's something I'm really interested in exploring more, and I predict we'll see a lot more about central lymphatics. I know lymphedema seminars is coming later in 2023, and they are going to do a whole day-long seminar with the focus of central lymphatics. So if this is an interest, definitely look into the past videos that have talked about central lymphatics. I believe we had one from Learn and one from LymphaPress, and then also check out this this online webinar day-long class from lymphedema seminars. And then as in all the other years, we learned about the lymphatic surgeries. There wasn't a lot new to learn if you're a big fan of lymphatic surgeries and you try to keep up with them like I do, especially after I was just at the ISL conference in Italy. I saw a lot of these presentations and similar presentations. What I really picked up on, what we really put our finger on at the NLN presentation on lymphatic surgeries, is really the difference in the postoperative protocol depending on if the surgeon required CDT before the surgery or if the surgeon did not require CDT and the patient more often than not ended up coming into surgery without being previously decongested. So we really got the impression, I got the impression that there's really a big difference in the postoperative protocol if there's a difference in the preoperative protocol. So you're going to have a different experience with bandaging, you're going to have a different experience with swelling after surgery if the client wasn't decongested before surgery. So just to be plain, you will get swelling after surgery with every surgery, but the difference in how you would order and see the compression garments controlling the swelling could be different based on if the client had CDT before the surgery or if they came in and they were already congested and the surgeon kind of had to deal with a client that wasn't perfectly decongested. So that was really a big take-home message for me, specifically at this NLN conference with that presentation with Dr. Ranzau and Dr. Chen. We also saw a really great presentation on meningeal lymphatics, the brain lymphatics. And this was interesting because I got to hear a little bit different information versus what I saw, and to complement what I heard at the ISL in Italy. So this is something that researchers from around the world are working on, and they're developing new information on it. So this is something that I would absolutely keep my eyes on. I would keep my eyes on the brain lymphatics and the central lymphatics going into 2024. I think these are going to be our hot topics. And then always why I really love going to these conferences, the ability to connect with colleagues that I see online, the ability this time to give my book out to my fellow lymphedema therapists and talk about how my fellow lymphedema therapists are bringing their hearts into their practice, are developing more of a holistic practice. When I put the topic of stress reduction on the table and we really talked about it both while I was signing their book and as we were doing the class, I heard a lot that just made my heart happy. A lot of lymphedema therapists see the need for having a personal practice of stress reduction, and they're open to sharing that information with their clients, that having a personal practice of stress reduction is going to help you, not only as population wise as it will help everyone, but it will specifically help you with your lymphedema. And I feel like we always knew this anecdotally, but the ability to grab that research and really put it into the book, so we knew we had evidence behind what we were saying our clients, is very valuable to me. That's why I really wanted to put the books in the hands of the lymphedema therapists from around the United States that were coming to this NLN conference. And I want to give a little bit of a sneak preview. If you are following Lymphy Strong on Facebook, definitely keep your eyes open for the next couple weeks in October. Hopefully all the stars will align and we can have a nice collaboration between me and the folks at Lymphy Strong. We'll be giving you, again, more resources that you can share with your clients as a lymphedema therapist to help them with their self-care for lymphedema. So this was my brief recap. If you follow me on Facebook, you will be able to see the slides that I put up. I also put some slides up on my Instagram account at Stress Reduction for Lymphedema, just to try to get the slides that really piqued my interest and share them and have a conversation about them with my fellow lymphedema therapists on both Facebook and Instagram. So I hope you follow me on both platforms, and I look forward to giving you more recaps in the future. I am looking forward to going to Power Lymphatics, which will be next end of winter, beginning of spring, and that will be in Las Vegas. So if you are going to Power Lymphatics, I look forward to seeing you there. Have a great day.